What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's drumroll Ethereum analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, guys, and a happy new week to all of you. It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday, Krisha.
Yes.
The market's not so beautiful, though, for a lot of people.
Hey,
what are your thoughts?
It's a Black Friday sale. It just came later. But this is crypto's Black Friday sale, guys. You know, grab them while they last. But yeah, so today, Sean, Ethereum. Now, before I know people, there's a lot of panic right now. Okay, and if you guys are wondering whether or not we're going to be doing a live stream later, we are going to be doing a live stream. That's right, Sean?
Yes, we will be doing one right after this.
Perfecto. So definitely make sure to catch that one. We will probably link that in the description or in the main Discord chat. So if you want to get a notification on that, definitely come in and join the Discord chat. You will find the link in the description below. Cool beans. Now, Sean, I currently have my screen opened on the Mango dashboard. Okay. Yep. Now, I'm looking at Ethereum, ETHUSDT on the 2-day time frame. This gave us a long trend signal, okay? And if you took a trade on this came in 13 days ago. If you took a trade on this, you're currently up 46.52%. Now, despite actually having that pullback, you are still up, okay? And this is the power of catching that trend. The trend is very important there. Now, especially in, well, a bull market. Beautiful. Now, ETHBTC, Sean. Okay, now once again on the 2-day time frame is neutral. This neutral signal came in 1 day ago. Okay, but I was looking at the ETHBTC chart today and it is looking interesting. So I'm very happy to be covering that. But what I'm going to do in the meanwhile is I'm actually going to go ahead and set an alert for this whenever that trend does change. Okay, so that's been done. Now let's get into the charts and see what Ethereum is up to. Sean, we will first be starting off with ETHUSD, and then we'll be moving on over to ETHBTC. But I'm currently on the weekly time frame, just so you know, and just so you're kind of keeping up with me there. So currently on the weekly time frame, what are your thoughts right now?
Well, definitely an interesting close. I do have my take on this, Krisha, but let's go ahead and start with your thoughts. I'll throw the ball to you before I go off on my rambles.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna first actually start off by explaining the lines that I have on my chart. Okay.
Okay.
Now, I currently have one yellow horizontal, okay, marked out at $973, and the next yellow horizontal I have all the way on top at 1,400-ish, give or take. Now, those are my weekly points of support and resistance for Ethereum. Okay, so I've essentially zoomed out of this chart, I have analyzed the price action, and I have plotted these two horizontals based on historic price action. Cool. So as you can see, that last week, so week of 28 December 2020, we closed over that 978 region, only to have a swift sort of continuation to the upside. Now, the way this picture is looking to me, Sean, is that we actually got rejected on that overhead resistance at around $1,400. Okay, and I feel like right now Ethereum is currently in that very nice, beautiful range. Yes, it's a volatile range, but it is a range and it is expected given the current volatility of Ethereum. Now, if I had to really sort of drill down on this range to see where price closed here, okay, now if I just have to look at the midpoint, now I don't know if this is a region for you, but I'm getting a midpoint at this white horizontal right here at 1,167. And the thing is that we closed over that region. You know, so yes, the week just started. I like this close. The week just started. Could we close under this region? Sure. Okay, but we're still very much in this range. I think this is healthy price action. And for me, my macro prospects for Ethereum is still bullish.
Yep. So my thoughts are a little bit more zone oriented. I've tried to keep it a little bit more simplified that way in terms of like taking profits or like, you know, deciding whether I want to add to my trade more importantly. And the zone I had marked out is essentially 1350 on the weekly. Okay. And again, I have another horizontal plotted at 1,230-ish, right? So the entire zone was what I was looking for Ethereum to clear. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Because what Ethereum did was it tested the top of the zone, right? And respected the underneath of the zone. So now it's not a clear close just yet. We don't have something that we can be like, all right, cool, this is a really clear and cut a candle close on the weekly time frame. Because what we'd want to see is for Ethereum to clear the zone entirely and close above it. Now closed within the zone. This is where it gets a little bit more tricky, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I'd be looking for is next week's candle. What I want to see for confirmation on my thoughts on the market, if the market participants are aligned with my thoughts, is does this bottom of the zone get respected on this week? Because at the moment, Krisha, we're living underneath the bottom of the zone at around 1230-ish, right?
Okay, that is your
level.
support, right? The 1230. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and mark that on my chart, Sean. Sorry, give me 1 minute just so that they have a visual on that. So this is the zone that Sean is talking about, and you can see how this weekly candle closed inside that. It closed over that 1230 region.
Yeah. So I don't want to call it support just yet, because that would be me insinuating that this has flipped from resistance into support. It's not done that just yet. At the moment, this is let's wait and see. And I would err towards the side of caution and say it is still resistance, right? Which is why I am not looking to add to my position at all. Krisha, if you go back on over to the live streams earlier this week, I think it was the most recent live stream on Friday where we were giving out signs of we're giving out caution to people, right? We're like, you guys need to understand that a lot of the big players in the space are already deeper in profits or deep in the profits over here, because we've been building a position at around I don't want to insinuate that I'm a big player at all, but the traders in this market were building positions from around the $300 region, right?
Yes.
So coming all the way up to all-time highs is a region where, like, people are expected to take profits. This is not a region where people will be comfortable adding on to their position. Traders who are trading based on the charts will either buy above a level or further down, right? And this is an example of just that. This is the level that was to be contended with, this entire zone, 1350-ish all the way down to 1200, at least the way I'm seeing it. Now we've come in and closed right into the zone. So it wasn't a weak close by any means, but it wasn't convincing for us to add to our position either. But it was definitely convincing enough for me to say, hey, I have no intention of selling any of my position. I have no intention of taking profits.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with you there. So now let's get on to some of the lower timeframes and see what Ethereum could be doing leading up to basically throughout this week. Okay, so I'm going to get on to that 2-day time frame. And yeah, this is still looking good. At the very least, guys, what I personally will be expecting if Ethereum has to see more downside, I want it to first come down to contest, not I want it, but I'm looking for it rather to come and contest this region at $968. But that's if we see that continuation. Now, the thing is that Ethereum throughout this entire run from this 719 region going all the way up to 1300, this was trending on something much, much lower than the 2-day or the weekly timeframes. I believe it was trending on the 4-hour time frame, if I'm not wrong. Sean, what are your thoughts on, do you have any thoughts on the 2-day time frame or on the daily timeframes or anything?
No, I'm not looking at them at all. I'm looking at the weekly and the monthly primarily.
Okay.
I was looking at the 12-hour initially leading into the weekly close, though. That's just something you guys know I always do. I look at the 12-hour candles leading into the weekly close. Those really give you an idea as to how the market is going to be treating the Monday open. And the big tell, and we'll tackle this on the live stream, guys, so go ahead and make sure that you schedule us in for I think around 2 hours from now.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how Bitcoin gave us a big clue that the markets were likely going to have a pullback unless it did something extremely bullish. And essentially we had triggered a bearish divergence on Bitcoin on those 12-hour timeframes leading into the weekly close. So Kusha, to answer your question though, right, before I digress, what I'm looking at right now, to keep my life really simple, to make sure I don't get shook out of my position, right, is the weekly and the monthly. And the monthly, Kusha, if you pan on over to it, I don't want to take you away from your lower time frames, but okay. I think it's important that people keep their eyes on the high time frames. And you'll notice how this monthly candle is sitting right smack up against the monthly candle close highs of the bull market of 2017.
Yes.
This is really important. Don't lose sight of this, guys, because now we have around 20 days before this month closes. If we can close above there, it doesn't matter whether the price even comes down to 900 or 800 after that. It's going to be a buy opportunity. Like I've been telling you guys since around 600, around 450ish to 600. I told you guys Ethereum is currently sitting at the spot where Bitcoin was at 9,000 to 10,000.
Yes.
I said that specifically, right? Now you're seeing this. You're seeing similar price movements even on the monthly time frames against the all-time highs. Bitcoin had done something very, very similar, right? So don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't lose your position, especially if you have a position from lower underneath. If you've been following us ever since we've been building at 300, 280-ish, 400, 500-ish, right? Don't lose that position. Well, it depends. Okay, we are not here to give you financial advice, but stick to your plan. If your plan was to take profits around these levels, stick to that plan. But if your plan was to go for the big win, hey, you do you.
Exactly. And also now, once again, there are a few lessons that Sean and I, we're going to keep repeating because these are important things to learn. Nothing was about volatility that I've been harping on about, was that if you see intense volatility to the upside, yes, you may be in a trade, everything is going in your favor. But the thing is that we're going to see these pullbacks. Okay, this is healthy price action at the end, but expect the same volatility to the downside and also plan for it. So when you are building your trade plan, make sure that you factor in that volatility. Okay, it is very, very important because that is going to help you keep a very steady mindset throughout your trade.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, freaking Ethereum is looking bloody amazing on the monthly. So we are testing those highs. And by the way, Sean was talking about the last bull market's candle body closes. He's talking about this right here. Okay. So essentially, if this month, for whatever reason, closes over that 1,155 region, it's done. This is going. It's going to be, you're right. It's going to be Bitcoin. It's going to be akin to Bitcoin at 20K. At that point. Exactly. And let me tell you something about Bitcoin. And this is something that, I was thinking about just the other day. And it was the fact that Bitcoin has done a 2x already from 20K. It's gone from 20 to 40. And remember the hype in that last bull market, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
The hype of 20, exactly. Oh, 20K, it's a bubble, it's a bubble. Well, guess what? We went from 0 to 20K again.
Yep.
Okay. So
Kush has a really good point over there, guys. Just think about the nominal value of Bitcoin's dollar increase. Going from 20,000 to 40,000 was essentially Bitcoin redoing 0 to 20,000 in a matter of a month. Not a month, a week.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, right? Jesus.
And that's what we saw, right? But okay, so Ethereum 2, I feel like it's looking extremely good. But Sean, I just want to quickly pan on over to some of the lower timeframes to see what we could be doing, getting into, the rest of today and leading up to the next few days. So I noticed that we had this rising channel on the 4-hour time frame that we broke down from, but I also believe that we met the measured move. I don't know if you see it, right? So that's it right here. And boom. So what I personally will be expecting, okay, now from this price action, say we have a couple of 4-hour candle body closes over this region here at 1,150, then yes, we could possibly have another test of this lower diagonal that we broke down from. That was basically the breakdown point, which is also lining up, by the way, with the 4-hour 20 simple moving average, sitting at 1,230. That was Sean's level. Right? But if we actually keep getting rejected on this region here at 1,150, I will be looking for further downside. Okay, possibly first point of support coming in here at the 4-hour Kijun, 1,035, going all the way down to this region right here at $967.
Through a lower time frame perspective, and again, this is something I'll talk about on the stream so you guys can see my charts. On the 4-hour time frame, I wouldn't be too surprised if we come down and test a little bit at around 980, 960, like you mentioned, and then close that 4-hour candle or the 12-hour candle above 1,040 yet again. So look out for that trade opportunity. And then we put in a rounded bottoming formation around the 1,050-ish level and test on over to the 1,250-ish again. All right, but here's the thing: if we do start losing the Kijun, Krisha, I'm going to mark out the Kijun at 1,032-ish with 1,000-ish, okay, 960-ish as a zone. If we lose that, I think we're coming further down, perhaps down to around, I'd say 800.
800,
But
eh?
yeah, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We'll take it one step at a time. We lose 980-ish. Yeah, I'll be looking at 800-ish. We could have a move to 800 on lower time frames and close the high time frames above 920. This is where your ability to combine multiple time frames, right? Multi-time frame analysis, if you want to call it, would really, really be beneficial in these volatile markets. So that way you're mentally prepared for these moves.
Yes, sirree. This is all good advice getting into, and I feel like Ethereum is just getting started. Like, Bitcoin has already had its run. I feel like Ethereum is just about getting started here. So it's going to be very, very exciting. It's going to pay, by the way, to be able to understand multi-time frame analysis.
I agree with you, and I disagree with you as well on that note of Ethereum just getting started. I definitely agree. Bitcoin has had its run. I disagree. I don't think Bitcoin has had its run. But why can't both of them move together? Ethereum may definitely outperform. Okay, I'm not going to bet against that. But if people think Bitcoin's just going to go sideways over here forever till the end of the bull market and not do anything, that's not entirely true. I don't agree with that.
Oh, no. Sorry. Allow me to rephrase. Okay, now, and this is something that's very important. It's a good thing you brought it up, because a lot of times, people are under the impression that for the altcoins to move, Bitcoin has to be doing nothing. And that's not true. If you kind of just go back and, just look at the chart, you'll notice that every time the altcoins ran, it's not like Bitcoin was doing nothing. Bitcoin too was trudging up. It was just that the altcoins ran harder than Bitcoin. And that's what I'm looking for here, Sean. So with that note, let's get on to ETHBTC, okay, and check out what ETHBTC is up to. Because if there's any chart that's going to give us that tip-off on whether or not Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin, it's going to be this ETHBTC chart.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, I want to be dissecting this on those higher time frames. Now, we did close a weekly today, so let's get on to the weekly, Sean. And I actually like to look at this weekly chart right now. Now, a lot of you guys know that I've been looking at this beautiful massive diagonal that has been marking the tops for ETHBTC. And as you can see here, we have broken out. However, I will still be looking for additional confirmation from ETHBTC. Predominantly, I want to see additional weekly candle body closes over this region here. Okay, and what's to note here is that the cloud is green. Ethereum also took out this high right here from the weeks of November 23rd and November 30th. So I'm liking this picture so far. And
over the Tenkin too.
Exactly. So we're over that Tenkin and also over that 20 simple moving average. So this is a really
good.
This is looking very, very good right now. So this is something that I'm keeping a very close eye out on if I really want to, get a good gauge whether or not Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on this chart, Sean?
I mean, when I look at the ETHBTC pairing, you can't help but fantasize about Ethereum hitting those numbers that we talked about earlier this year, right? We talked about $10,000 Ethereum. We've talked about $5,000 Ethereum as a possibility very recently. And I'm struggling to see why can't that be a possibility. How about this? I'm struggling to see why people are struggling to come to terms with that idea. It's just like when I talked about Bitcoin hitting 30,000 and people laughed at me, and now Bitcoin's sitting at 40,000, well, 35,000 today, right? Mm-hmm. It's because people let the nominal value affect them. You guys need to understand that the nominal value might end up being your biggest downfall in this market, where you lose out on a lot of opportunity. Again, guys, if Ethereum even keeps up with Bitcoin and then suddenly outperforms, right, you guys are going to see the ETHBTC ratio go really, really high. And if the ETHBTC ratio even reaches 0.1, and Bitcoin sitting at $100,000, that's a $10,000 Ethereum value. And Bitcoin outperforms and goes to 200,000, and then Ethereum catches up again. We are talking about $20,000 Ethereum, maybe, right? Now, these numbers sound ridiculous, but think about how it may all unfold, right? Markets get euphoric, man, and your job as a trader is to take advantage of that euphoria, just like how it's going to be your job to take advantage of the anxiety in the bear market that will eventually come.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. But Ethereum, guys, bottom line is looking good here. Okay, and watch out. Keep an eye out on those macro timeframes. It's going to be very, very important. It's going to be very critical to how you play this market and how well you handle the drawdowns when they do come.
Yep.
Okay, and any final notes, Sean?
There are a few things I do want to show on some of these charts, but we'll keep that for the live stream. So guys, make sure you meet us there.
Yes. So I will link it in the Discord chat, as well as if you want to find it, just kind of get onto the main channel, Mango Research on YouTube, and you should be able to see it on top right there. Okay, so we should be going live in about, you said 2 hours from now? 1 hour, 2 hours?
Well, it depends on how fast YouTube actually renders and uploads your video. So I don't want to give a time frame based on when people watch this video, but yeah, our live stream is going to be at the usual time, guys. You guys have been tuning in for an entire week now, so yeah, we'll be going live very soon.
Perfect. Now with this, guys, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the Mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.
Ciao.